Today's episode covers GM's EV production pause at Factory Zero, Tesla's first quarter sales and market estimates, BMW's newly revealed iX340 specifications, a reported Land Rover Freelander EV SUV direction tied to Rivian R2, and a policy update in Malaysia that could matter for Chinese EV brands and CKD pricing. Welcome back to Auto News Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. General Motors is pausing EV production at Factory Zero, a move that immediately puts one of North America's most closely watched electric vehicle plants in the spotlight. Factory Zero has been central to GM's EV manufacturing push, so any pause there matters not just for the company's own schedule, but also for suppliers, logistics partners, and the broader picture of EV industrial momentum in the region. For the industry, the significance goes beyond one factory line stopping and starting again later. When a major OEM adjusts production timing, it can ripple through component sourcing, battery-related planning, workforce allocation, and inventory management. It is also a reminder that the EV market is still balancing demand, capacity, and execution, even as automakers continue to invest heavily in new models and production systems. That brings us to a story that helps frame the wider EV market right now: Tesla's first quarter sales and the Wall Street estimates built around them. Tesla remains the most closely watched EV brand in the market, so its quarterly delivery and sales performance often shapes the tone for investor expectations far beyond the company itself. This update matters because Tesla's numbers are not just a company headline. They influence how the market reads demand across the EV space. If sales come in above or below estimates, it can affect sentiment around pricing, competition, and the pace at which consumers are adopting battery electric vehicles in the US, China, and other key markets. In other words, Tesla's quarter is often treated as a snapshot of the broader EV conversation, even when the realities across the industry are more complex and varied. Taken together, the GM and Tesla stories show two very different sides of the same market. One automaker managing production timing, the other serving as a high-profile barometer for demand and investor confidence. And from there, we move into a product story that is more about the next wave of electric offerings coming to market. BMW has revealed specifications for the iX340, giving a clearer look at where the brand is positioning one of its key electric SUVs. For BMW, details like powertrain output, range, and equipment levels are important not only for shoppers, but also for the brand's broader competitive strategy in Europe and beyond. What makes this notable is how much the electric SUV segment continues to evolve. Buyers are paying close attention to the balance between range, performance, practicality, and price, and any updated spec sheet can shift expectations in a crowded field. For suppliers and the upstream chain, every new configuration also helps define demand for batteries, electronics, motors, and related systems, especially in markets where premium EV competition is intensifying. BMW's update also serves as a good reminder that product planning remains a constant race. While some headlines are focused on production pauses or sales estimates, other automakers are still moving ahead with specification releases and model refinement, all with the goal of staying competitive in a market where technology and consumer demand change very quickly. And while Europe's premium EV segment continues to add detail, there is also fresh movement around a name with a long legacy in off-road and utility vehicles. A report is linking the Land Rover Freelander to a China EV SUV direction that is reportedly connected to Rivian R2. If that develops further, it would be another example of how automakers are looking at collaborations, shared platforms, and market-specific product planning to accelerate their EV strategies. China remains one of the most important and competitive EV markets in the world, and any brand entering or reshaping its position there has to think carefully about localization, brand fit, and timing. For industry watchers, the most interesting part is the implication for partnerships and platform strategy. When a legacy name is tied to a new EV SUV program, especially one linked in some way to another automaker's architecture or product direction, it can signal how companies are trying to reduce development time while still tailoring vehicles to regional expectations. It also speaks to the ongoing importance of China as a proving ground for new EV business models. Now, before we get to our final headline, if you're enjoying Auto News Daily, please like and subscribe. It really helps us keep bringing the news to you every day. Our last story brings us to Malaysia, where MITI has issued a statement on the BYD CKD topic and said the floor price is 100,000, not 200,000, while also noting that the policy is open to all Chinese brands. This is an important update because CKD, or completely knocked down assembly, plays a major role in how automakers structure local market entry, pricing, and manufacturing economics. For Chinese brands in particular, the details of local policy can affect exactly how competitive their EVs can be in the market. A floor price, assembly requirements, and eligibility language all matter when companies are deciding whether to build locally, how to position vehicles, and how to plan for sales volume. These decisions can also flow down to suppliers, since local assembly often changes sourcing needs, logistics patterns, and long-term investment plans. More broadly, this is another example of how policy can shape the pace and structure of EV adoption. Even when consumer demand is present, the commercial reality depends on how governments frame local manufacturing, pricing thresholds, and access for brands operating in the market. For the automotive industry, those rules can be just as influential as product launches or quarterly sales figures. That's all for today's edition of Auto News Daily. Thank you for listening, and see you tomorrow.